you're listening.
I just don't care.
Look, if you're 300 pounds, then you are a monster, and I don't want you to talk.
Welcome back to This Is a Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, David Two Dogs Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to another edition of This Is a Work. I am your host, David Two Dogs Hayes, and with me, as always, my tag team partner, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. How are you, brother?
You know, Dave and I saw Doctor Strange recently. Can we talk about that instead?
No. You know, this, to be fair, let's be fair now.
Okay.
This was not their worst show this year.
No.
Or even
No,
last
Marvel's
year.
had much worse shows. Doctor Strange is actually pretty good in comparison. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. You were talking about wrestling. My bad.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
but so what does that say when I still don't really want to talk about it?
I know.
All right, well, let's get into WrestleMania rewatch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the damnedest thing. It was a
rematch. I mean,
how bad is it that we watched all of these matches 1 month, well, most of these matches 1 month ago, and this was actually a little bit better.
yes. The pressure was off, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's we just talked about this before we turned the recorders on, how 80% of the crowd noise was piped in.
Yeah, it feels like. I mean, we caught it in some parts.
And then you just told me that. What was it?
Someone caught it and posted it on Twitter, where they were using old crowd shot reactions from show, like at least one show was a decade ago, just to sweeten like the people were into it, you know.
It's I don't. Wrestling's faker now than it's ever been. And I don't say that word lightly.
This is the dream. This is what WWE has wanted, and Thunderdome gave them finally the excuse to.
Yeah. Damn COVID. Well, let's talk about this fake ass shit.
We did already. Go listen to WrestleMania.
So we start things out with Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Damn fun match.
Fun, very fun.
I
think everyone said is like, this is the match you wanted to open with and get things rocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be honest, I would have closed with this match.
Sure.
After what, we'll get to that, but this was a closer for me. If we had solved this match and then said, good night, everybody, fucking great pay-per-view.
Sure. Yeah.
This was awesome. But no, that's not what happened. We started out with it. We started out with some damn fun chain wrestling that you don't see in AEW. Mm-hmm. You damn sure don't see it in WWE. You really don't see it in the indie circuit. Just letting you know how good these two really are. And this went on for, I would say, probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just both guys, Cody and Rollins, are just fantastic in the ring. The go-home on this one was, this is going to become a pattern later, but the go-home were two consecutive back-to-back roll-ups for Cody coming out on top to get the 3 count.
Yeah, Seth rolled him up, pulled the tights to try and get the win, but Cody reversed it and then pulled the tights on Seth to hold him in.
Just great match. I'm usually not happy about a roll-up win, but in this case,
it fits with what they're doing.
It fits, and we're not done.
Right,
so.
of course not, and it especially because they were playing off each other. Seth, especially in this match, as opposed to being surprised by Cody at WrestleMania, he kept getting out of stuff and slinking around the ring and staying away because like, aha, I've got you scouted now. You can't fool me once, shame on me, kind of thing.
A lot of good story.
Just trying to frustrate Cody at every turn.
Yeah, and I wish I could say the same for our next WrestleMania rewatch match. We have the almighty Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
Almost has a secret weapon now because MVP decided MVP friendship with Bobby Lashley is done. Now he's friends with Omos.
You know, okay. He needed a manager.
Yes.
He did.
Oh, of course.
And
They still let him talk, though.
you know, I feel the same. I feel about MVP the same way that I feel about this last Metallica album. It was good, but it would be so much better if it weren't Metallica. It's good and it's needed, but does it have to be Metallica doing this? And same thing with MVP. Yeah, he needs a manager, but does it have to be MVP? Is there nobody else?
Well, not
Jimmy
really.
Hart he's just working at Hogan's gimmick store. As far as I know, that's all he's doing. We can put him to work.
I was going to say, well, not really, because, I mean, another good candidate for that, Malcolm Bivens / Stokely Hathaway, was recently let go.
Well, there you go. You know, we're leaving money on the table, guys. I mean, what's Harvey Whippleman doing these days? Wasn't he the manager of the last monster that they had in there?
I can't remember.
Giant Gonzalez, right?
I think he did stuff after that.
Yeah, didn't he manage Golga for a second?
Maybe. We're getting off the rails.
Yeah,
here.
it doesn't matter. It's this. There's no story to this. It's sloppy.
You want to talk about the Taint Buster?
Oh yes, please. But I will say this. This time it was better than WrestleMania's match.
Yeah, it looked way more accidental at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess the idea is that like even the almighty Bobby Lashley can't really get Omos up very well. So he does this weird thing where he hooks in between Omos's legs
He
and around his
cow-chains
shoulder.
him.
Yeah. And just basically up and slams him with a spine buster.
I believe
Sort of.
we called it.
I just said Taint Buster because it's like he hooked him through the legs. This is like, I don't know what else to talk about this.
Right. I think we called it a single leg spine buster.
We were being generous, yes.
We were. It's sloppy as hell. This feud, I know what they're going for, but this is not doing anybody any favors.
Yes.
I don't know. Almost, he gets the win here. He double choke slam.
Mm-hmm. That looked terrifying.
Yeah, Bobby did not get his legs up in time.
No.
But
I don't know
was,
if Omos rushed it or Lashley was too slow in the uptake. Or
well, I mean, it felt like it was both of them.
yeah, because I mean, Omos at the very least, he lifted him up and it just awkwardly kind of dropped / slammed him because I think Omos realized, his legs aren't around and didn't want to hold him by his neck.
Yeah. It's bad. It was a dangerous match. I will say again, better than last time.
True.
Therefore, I gave it 2 Meltzers.
And before our dots are connected, Omos is way better than Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, so much better. Yeah, before, yeah. Don't.
I didn't want there to be an accidental connection there.
Yeah. From what I understand about Giant Gonzalez, he was a super, super nice guy.
Well, the thing was, he was originally just supposed to be he came on a visa to play basketball and messed up his knee or something.
That's exactly
And
what
so
it was.
he was like, "Well, you're in the area for it. Let's get him in a ring." And I don't think that it was one of those things where it's like, let's get him out there to make money before we actually ever train him properly.
Yeah. And he was probably one of the first giants or big guys to ever go through the power plant and go through the power plant.
Yeah, he was El Gigante in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And
He visited the power plant.
I think there was a walking tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, by all means, he was a super great guy. He wasn't great, and I think everyone knew it, including him.
Yeah, and Omos is not that. He is better, slightly better. We still have a lot of work to do.
He's a work in progress, and I hope they get to a finish line.
Yeah, because before he kills somebody. Moving on to our next match, and there's not many matches on this card. There's 6 tops.
No, it wrapped up pretty neatly, actually.
Yeah, 3-hour pay-per-view, man. It was, and I was happy with that.
Absolutely.
You got an extra Meltzer for me for that alone.
Oh, sure.
We have Edge versus AJ Styles. Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Again, same thing that we saw last time. This was a little bit better because now we got Edge being the heel, and yeah, he's doing his cult thing.
You knew this was going to end wacky because the stipulation that AJ won and set up was Damian Priest is barred from ringside.
Right.
Damian Priest is barred from ringside.
Well, the way this goes down, Damian Priest does come down towards the end.
But he only comes out to the end
halfway.
of the ring. Yeah, he's only out there in the entrance area. He's not at ringside.
That's right.
He's not touching you.
Excuse me. And here comes a shadowy lurking figure. Catches and pushes
Someone got
AJ
lost on their way out of the Hot Topic and is standing at ringside.
Pushes AJ Styles off the top rope. Comes back in for Edge to gives him a chance to apply a chokehold.
Yep.
And AJ passes out from the pain. Oh, I forgot to mention that while Damian Priest is out there distracting,
Yes.
Finn Balor comes down.
Well, he comes down. Yeah, he comes down to stop. That's why the shadowy figure is a surprise because Finn Balor comes out to help AJ and take care of Priest.
That's right, because the original Bullet Club are getting back together. Well, not the original, but
and also we can't call them Bullet Club. So,
yeah, the club. Good Lord, that's honestly, man. There's so many members of the Bullet Club now. It's not even fun anymore.
Also, here's where again it's like I'm not gonna do this a lot, but when it matters, it matters. Here's where AEW is superior, where it's like when that happens, when they start, WWE wants you to know about their past, but they don't want to mention anything. AEW is like they were members of the Bullet Club in Japan, and now they would say it. They would do everything they could to clear it and say it and mention it and say like here's their history. They're actually working together again.
Which speaking of that,
Yeah.
Of commentators mentioning things. Did you notice that Pat McAfee mentioned that The Fiend was in the
Well,
audience?
he tossed off a joke because a kid was in the front row.
Yeah.
Wearing a Fiend mask, and he's like, "Is that the Fiend at ringside?" And
Well, the Twitterverse was all a Twitter about it, and it was like, "Is the Fiend still on the roster?"
it's like, no, McAfee made a joke.
Yeah.
There was a kid, very obviously a kid. There was very obviously a kid making just without a Fiend mask because
they're still selling them, and why wouldn't they? They got the trademark.
I think they're selling them on the false hope that if we're still selling them, maybe he'll come back.
Yeah,
They
don't want him back.
Because they'll know it's like because they know it's like if we stop selling them, then he's really gone.
Yeah, I mean, Bray Wyatt just went out for cigarettes a couple of weeks ago. He'll be back.
He'll be back with the milk.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be back before Christmas morning. Don't worry, sweetie.
Oh, that reminds me. When we go off the air, I have to tell you a story about my heel run as an independent wrestler. Something I said. Anyway. No, this was a really good match. Well, AJ gets choked out.
Yes.
And
honestly, I feel like he should have won because, I mean, once Finn chased him to ringside, they broke the stipulation.
He did. They should have lost by DQ.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
this shadowy, lurking character turned out to be Rhea Ripley? What? Another goth? Are you kidding me?
It's not a phase, Mom.
Well, I guess the only other person
She
that we
looked
have.
so excited to be there.
You know, she really did.
Yeah.
Because she's, I said this that night, was she's probably been watching Edge since she was a little girl, and now she is in a stable with Edge. That's got to do something for you.
People were reposting the Twitter, the screen caps onto Twitter. She's just so happy.
Yeah.
She's just looking at Ed and she's smiling and she's practically vibrating with happiness.
I guarantee it, if you stuck a mic to her, it would be.
You could put that audio under the footage.
Why not? They're doing it anyway. But yeah, I gave this match 3. Edge goes over, and now he's added one more to his stable of darkness.
It's a good match, and it's continuing an interesting story. So
yeah, and we don't get many of those with WWE. So
I think that's why people attach themselves so hard to them when they come along.
I know. Moving on. Speaking of which, we have our next match, which is the women's champion Charlotte Flair, and that would be the SmackDown champion, if I'm remembering correctly, right? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Yeah, Bianca's Raw.
Versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And this is an I Quit match.
I take issue with that. Why would you put them in a match that encourages them to talk more?
Right.
I'm gonna admit right now I stole that joke from Twitter, but
this is my thing. When I think about the I Quit matches of the Attitude Era, I think about them starting in the ring, but it goes backstage.
Right.
And they tussle about. And honestly, the best damn thing that I've seen from Charlotte and Ronda is 3 years ago, whatever it was, that backstage schmoz that happened.
Sure.
That was the best thing the women's division has ever seen.
It's a delivery on the promise of this is the only thing that ends this match is someone saying I quit.
Yeah.
So it delivers on that implied promise of this is going to get wild and go anywhere.
Yeah. And it did go into the audience a little bit. I was kind of surprised about that. Oh
my God, Ronda had a chair in the crowd, and I got very worried.
I did too. I saw that, and the thing about this match, there's no good way to say it. This was poorly designed for Ronda and Charlotte. As much as I like and respect Charlotte, this ain't her type of match. I'm sorry. It's not. And it's nobody in the women's division that I can think of right now should be put in an I Quit match. They're just, I'm not saying they're not good, capable wrestlers. They are. They're the best in the world.
Yeah.
They don't have the storytelling ability to put it over, and they proved it last night or Sunday. It was poorly designed. They were just doing moves for the sake of doing moves.
Yeah, the idea of an I Quit match is that you are so ready to basically kill each other that this is the only way.
Yeah. And now, if this had been a submission match,
Yeah.
maybe we could have choreographed something or designed something a little better for him. Because, look, Ronda's matches have to be, she has to memorize her match from beginning to end. Otherwise, she's going to stink up the place, and she's stinking up the place anyway. So it's something has to be done. It's the I Quit match. I know a lot of people liked it because they haven't seen any of the ladies go into the crowd in a while.
Yeah.
But look, the reality is the match was a stinker. But again, better than the last one.
The one thing I will say is that I really appreciate how this feud has scaled back that thing they were doing with Charlotte, where she would just essentially be going quote unquote beast mode and just being a snarling monster in the ring.
Right.
She was kind of Lesnaring her way through the women's division a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I'm really glad that at the very least that this has scaled it back and she has started running from Ronda, and it's like I'm good with that. Because I was getting kind of tired of the other thing.
There's a time when you have to do that, and if you're gonna, from story point of view, if you're going to get in the ring with the baddest woman on the planet, this would be time to play chicken shit hill.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it, your dad would have done it. And
I mean, she's a Flair.
yeah,
I honestly expected to see a beg off.
yeah. And to hear the no,
Yeah.
that's you. Come on, that's at least a Flair flop, something.
Yeah.
But no. What did happen was she gets Ronda in but gets her arm or her legs caught between a chair.
Yes.
And
that's right.
and she goes, "Happy Mother's Day," as she reaches her arm through the chair.
Yeah.
And then Ronda catches her with the arm through the chair and hooks that arm bar.
Yeah.
And then she taps. So #and new WWE Women's Champion Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
The
Again.
cycle continues. All right.
Yeah. I gave it 2.5.
We've learned 0 lessons.
Yeah. So now we're back. Somebody's going to have to beat Rousey, and now Rousey has to cut a promo now. So great. I blame you.
What?
This is your fault.
How is this I didn't want her back.
I didn't want her back either. Somebody opened the door.
I kind of hope
somebody moved the
I
rock.
kind of hope she'd actually get pregnant again.
Stay out of her vagina. I know there's so many things.
She's supposed to be the baby. She's supposed to be the face, and I know the crowd is not warming to her anymore.
No, they're not, and they're not going to, and it doesn't matter anyway because they're going to pipe in the damn noise. They're going to pipe in they're going to show you different pictures of the crowd. It's kind of like Total Recall now. They are changing the narrative of everything. Incidentally, there is a new wrestling federation up that Braun Strowman and
Oh Lord! The more I've heard about this, the dumber it gets.
I know, but the point is good. I mean, it's called Control Your Narrative.
But the people running it shouldn't.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. It's from what I've seen, it's pretty tough to watch. But
it's already running. Oh, even better.
oh yeah, it's been running for a minute now. But yes, it's not great. Moving on now, I think this was the sleeper match of the night. Also, the semi-main event, as it were. Didn't think this would ever happen, but Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin is our semi-main event.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it.
I think it was the most underrated match of the night and possibly the year.
I remember while we were watching this, we were talking with everybody, especially Katie, and it was we were just going on about why we weren't enjoying this more, and we came to the conclusion. We kind of got to it where it was the fact that it was like these guys are good wrestlers putting on a good match. But WWE has absolutely failed in presentation. Oh, yeah.
They've failed Baron Corbin from day one. Now you can tell from his 2 finishing moves, the Deep Six and the End of Days. Thank you, End of Days, that he he is a force. There's no doubt about that, even though he's not my favorite wrestler. But whose fault is that?
Not Baron Corbin's, actually.
No. I don't want to see the guy because you have marketed him completely wrong. And you can't label him as a mechanic because he can't really put anybody over because nobody cares about him. He is a jobber, and that's it. And it's your fault that he's not your fault, Barnes, but
No, this one I don't get claim to. Okay.
no. It's their fault that he's a jobber. It's their fault that they're going to make Riddick Moss a jobber. And Riddick Moss looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, so great. I'm really warming up to the guy. Can we get him
A shirt?
How about a singlet?
Yeah. Or
Maybe.
long, or I tell you what, long pants and just remove those suspenders.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a joke about lederhosen in there somewhere.
Here's the thing I'm worried about. Now that this break has occurred between the mega powers, I kept making that joke and I can't stop.
I know.
Is now they're not really going to change anything about Madcap Moss, but now you're expected to be happy to see him and hear him tell his stupid jokes.
I was on TikTok the other day.
Oh no!
As
Your
I'm,
first mistake.
Yeah, as I'm prone to be, and I was kind of talking about this particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody argued the point. Well, everybody there's been a lot of jobbers that have made it big. What about the 1, 2, 3 kid? And
He wasn't a jobber. He was not a jobber.
well, they started him out as supposed to be a jobber,
Right.
Sean Waltman came out and lost like 3 matches.
Sure.
And then he wrestles Razor and he gets that win.
Yeah, but that's not an accident though.
No. It's marketing
Yeah.
but still it's not the same thing.
No.
It's what you're doing here is you're just embarrassing people. You're putting people in lederhosen and shoving them in front of cable television. And they've got no gimmick. The Madcap Moss has no gimmick. It's just dad jokes. That's it. And I don't know, man.
It's just
You're capable of more.
Well, the entirety of his character up to this point was follow Happy Corbin around, tell stupid jokes, to ridicule his opponents.
Yeah.
Rinse, repeat.
Right. And now he's just going to be going on a singles tear telling dad jokes.
But because that won't mean anything unless they let him tweak his gimmick and be something else.
Right.
Like,
He would be an awesome Wardlow.
sure. Here's the thing. I would just say in general, I love stupid shit.
Sure.
I love comedy wrestling. I love good comedy wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I love good comedy in wrestling.
Yeah.
Madcap Moss is not that. It does a disservice to Moss.
It does. And comedy wrestling for that
Right.
matter. So moving into our main event. Oh, I gave this match 3 solid Meltzers.
Yeah.
Again.
A solid match, a trash storyline, but a solid match.
Mm-hmm. And Moss actually goes over with a sunset flip of all things.
That's right. Virgil's his own man.
Yeah. How about that? That's crazy. So now, moving into the main event. Okay. At this time, I would like to start my 2-part apology to you, Mr. Barnes, and to you, Mr. Hensley.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed. This is serious. Go ahead.
Not accepted.
Well,
You haven't heard it yet,
No.
Dave. Let him say it. Let him say it before you reject it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Doggz.
Perhaps I may have overstated my wrestling knowledge Sunday night when I said the following. This is going to be a good match. I'm so sorry I said that. I also said Roman's going to look fantastic.
And the reason that Doggz is apologizing for these things is because he has an uncanny ability. Okay, let's take a time out here. One, you mentioned before the next pay-per-view going on DraftKings and trying your hand at that.
I'm going to do it.
After your showing Sunday night, absolutely do not, because you jinxed yourself.
Yeah.
Doggz has an uncanny ability to call whatever is going to happen in the ring.
Or inside Vince McMahon's head.
Yeah, well, yeah, more so inside Vince McMahon's head.
I even did it with Roman during the match. I said he's going to circle once and he's going to tag out, and damned if he didn't.
Exactly. You called so many things correctly about this pay-per-view, this premium live event on Sunday, that when you said, guys, this is going to be a good match, Roman's going to look good and Roman might lose, that everyone else in the room was suddenly like, oh my God, Roman might lose.
In fairness,
Everyone except me.
the eternal cynic, yes.
You're right. And so, yeah, that would make it a 3-part apology. I did say I think Roman will get pinned tonight.
Chris.
Well, in fairness to one part, Roman usually looks good in a 6-man tag because he's got 2 other people covering sins.
Yeah.
and he's with the Usos.
And it's the Usos and RK Bro
And Drew
McIntyre. A precedent is set. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out, fast-paced match.
And it kind of was.
No.
Whenever
Kind of.
Roman wasn't in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the thing. It started, and boom, pow, boom.
And here's the thing. The part you described about Roman tagging in and just taking a lap and then tagging out, perfect heel shit.
Yes.
That's good. It's like everyone wanted to see him and Drew lock up. He denies them. Good. Mm-hmm. But then when he tagged in for real, they made him do the Roman Reigns stuff.
Yeah.
Or he decided, he did the Roman Reigns stuff, which is grind this to a halt.
Yeah, he slowed the pace of that match down to the point of watching snails fuck. I've never seen a tag team as dynamic as the Usos and RK Bro slow down to a pace like that.
They had to do a spot where they were all wiped out or somewhere else at the moment so that he could do that.
It was and the thing about it is, I noticed everybody got sucked into it. I mean, even Jimmy tagged in at one point, and he took a couple of laps around the ring talking shit to Riddle.
Yeah.
And then started working him, but still not working him in a fast pace. It was Glacier.
I wish Glacier was in that ring.
I miss Glacier.
I know.
Glacier is what if Riddick Moss could be Glacier?
Look, we all miss Glacier, but we can't do that. I'm sorry.
Ah, damn it. But at one point, we finally see the hot tag coming.
Yeah.
Riddle hits the flying kick, and he gets over there, and Jimmy finally gets up and he staggers back into the corner. Mm-hmm. Roman gets the blonde tag on the shoulder and steps in. Now, Riddle takes a flying leap to the corner and gets the tag for Roman. And Roman comes in.
No. Wrong team.
I'm sorry, not Roman. Drew, my bad. And Roman comes in. But because Roman was taking his own sweet ass time about getting into the ring, that was the coldest hot tag I've ever seen in my life. They basically started the match over.
Yeah, I've never seen a hot tag into a brick wall quite that hard before.
Guys, I know there are Roman fans that are out there right now. You cannot honestly say this was a good match.
Oh, plenty did.
I know. I saw it. It's
yeah.
It makes me wonder. It's like, are we not watching the same thing?
Yeah, Poochie stopped the match so he could so he could do his Poochie shit.
Finally, we get another hot tag, and I think it was like the third one of the night.
It was when Randy came in. I don't remember.
It was Riddle again.
It was Riddle to Randy that time.
Yeah, Riddle to Randy.
And then and then I forget who on the other side, but it was an actual hot tag moment.
Yeah. And let's see. Now, let me see if I can get this right.
Okay.
Yeah, his I think it was his third hot tag of the night.
Yeah.
He cleans house. He empties the ring, and he starts to spin around, and pow, he gets caught with that spear. 1, 2, 3, over.
Well, yeah, that was and then they gave the hope spot where you're actually RKO'd.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the second hot tag.
Yeah, so second hot tag, he actually RKO's Roman.
Mm-hmm. And people lost their minds.
Yeah.
Because they thought for 1 second, wow, he's going to get it.
But yeah, the ending came after there was everyone piles into the outside in varying degrees of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Randy gets knocked into the corner. Who goes through the table? Riddle? No.
That was
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
You go.
Thank you. Yeah, because Roman puts him through the table. Everyone else gets waylaid in some fashion, and then he goes back into the ring. And you're right, it was spear. There was also the world's worst Superman punch.
Boy, that was how about that for being the drizzling shits, huh?
That's saying something, isn't it?
Oh my God!
Was it Dave? Dave, were you the one who said it was basically a hop up and a tap?
Yeah.
No, because at that point I'd stopped paying attention.
That's right. That's fair.
It was
Someone called it that.
Yeah. So to you and to Hensley, I deeply apologize for that. I am sorry if I gave anybody any false hope.
Doggz, not to be mean, but that's not going to mean anything unless it's addressed to me on WWE letterhead and signed by Vince McMahon.
Well, I've been saying that for a long time. Vince owes me thousands and thousands of dollars. So
you deserve a recurring payment into your account of $9.99 a month at the very least.
Really,
for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I gave this match a 1.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
I'm sorry, guys. I mean, at me if you want to. It's fine. We will argue about it all day. The fact remains that could have been a stellar match. 9 times out of 10, it would have been a stellar match. Someone told that mechanical bull named Roman to slow things down, keep it at your pace. And he said, yes, sir, boss. And and out to the ring he goes.
Well, it was just a solid reminder that Roman is the main character, and you should always remember that. And there is no other plan. Sorry. And that one that you gave it is solely because of all the effort of everybody but Roman.
Everybody else.
He is a minus.
And look, guy, I talk a lot of shit about Roman. The thing about it is, I'm not going to say that he's good because I don't believe he is, but he has a fantastic body. He's a good-looking dude. He is extremely athletic.
And what else? The charisma, right? You want to talk about the charisma?
No, I'm not going to say charisma because it's not there. And Vince said, hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, huh? Let's go. Let's run with it. And he wants to be the next John Cena. So
say what you will about Hogan or Cena, they had the ability to pump enthusiasm and momentum into what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, I've never a Hogan fan.
Me neither.
But you know what? He can get on a mic and put some audible adrenaline into what is happening.
And the thing about it too, and people will argue with me on this, Hogan can work.
Yes.
If you watch anything that he does in Japan, Hogan knows how to work. Mm-hmm. He was told not to when he got to WWF by Vince Jr. So I mean, that's because Vince has a plan. He's like, no, you keep things simple. You have a formula to your match. And they're doing the same thing with Roman, except his formula just blows dick and puts people to sleep. You can't win any new fans with this being your franchise. It's just not going to happen. I mean, please tell me I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want the WWE to do great. I want to enjoy it. But I can't fucking do it. Oh my God. And we say this, this is a monthly conversation that we have.
Yes.
And it's much like WrestleMania Backlash. It's the same thing every month.
And here I am breaking a vow, because what did I say at the end of WrestleMania?
Oh, you have to. There are people listening.
Whatever. I didn't want to talk about him ever again. The only reason I can get around saying that is just there's 5 other people to talk about in this match.
That's true.
But who came in and reminded everyone that it's all about him?
that would have been Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got the shitty spear and the first spear that he threw that night as well.
Yeah.
And caught a 3 count off of it. I almost would be willing to accept that if it was anything but a spear. I hate a spear so much. I've always hated them. It's the shittiest move, and I hate the fucking spear so much.
In a match where that means ultimately nothing, where no titles are on the line, this would have been the perfect time to show that the cracks are forming in the facade.
Yeah. And you can tease that. He can go on the rest of the year.
Even if you don't want Roman to eat a pin, there's an Uso or 2 there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like show that there's a little falter in the bloodline, and just just start making Roman, act a little and say, oh, things are not all well at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very easily done, and you can drag this out as you should drag it out for long-term story. It's a shame.
But that's what's making me mad is like the moments where it's very clear where a particular story beat should happen, they're ignoring, and at the peril of ruining this forever.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. So, like I said, I gave this a 1. Overall, I gave this pay-per-view it would have been a 2.5, but because it was only 3 hours and something, I bumped it up to a 3.
It's the Statler and Waldorf joke.
Yeah.
It was meh. It was a retread. It was it was short.
It was short.
I loved it.
So, what about your best dressed for the evening?
Oh, I
ask you that every month, and every time I ask you, you act like I'm not going to ask you.
Well, that's because we spent 40 minutes talking about the other things.
That's true.
Also, we watched it a couple days ago, and as soon as a pay-per-view like this ends, it just starts fading from my mind as quickly as possible. Honestly, I can't remember the matches we just talked about. If I'm being...
Well, we had
Cody and Seth. I'll say
Cody,
they tied.
Okay, right on.
Cody because he's keeping a consistent look that is well put together.
Yeah.
And
The
of course,
tattoo's growing.
that's not clothing. I'm not counting it. And
no, it's a parasite, and it's consuming him. It's getting bigger, guys.
And Seth's gimmick is, of course, what he's wearing. So I think he's always pulling off killer ensembles.
Yeah, the drip god. So what about your worst dressed?
It's Moss, and it's not his fault.
It's not. It should always, worst dressed should always be Moss.
It's until they give Dobby some clothes.
When are we gonna put Baby in some dress up big boy clothes?
He looks like a kindergartner that lost his shirt.
He does. It's embarrassing.
Like he's playing and he's like, "Where's your shirt?"
Oh man. So yeah, I think that's actually gonna do it for us.
Sure.
Since we don't have we don't have anything else for it. We had 6 matches. Hensley, what do you think?
I think that any pay-per-view that involves Roman Reigns, it's not worth asking me my opinion on because it's just going to be me retreading old ground every month.
Well, what'd you think about everything before the main event? I know you have thoughts on the Cody Seth match.
I was barely paying attention to that. This is what happens with 9 out of 10 matches. If they don't grab me immediately, I stop caring.
Right.
Plus, I mean, I sadly blame you for this. I marked out so hard for AEW that I'm still disappointed that Cody's not there anymore. My overall thought on the pay-per-view itself, I want more women's matches.
Yeah.
That Ronda and Charlotte match was bullshit. You have so many better women wrestlers that could have come out there and put on a clinic.
Or say a U.S. title or Intercontinental title defense.
Or anything.
Yeah.
And instead, that's what we got. I tried getting into it. I tried caring about what was happening, and I couldn't.
And no one can blame you.
Yeah.
No, we can't. We really can't. And honestly, they're losing fans right over left. And, you deserve to fail. You really do. At this point, it's been 3 solid years, and it's progressively getting worse. It's like you're trying to kill it.
They're killing it without doing anything different. Is the thing is they're just doing it over and over.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend that had a promotion and at one point, and I had seen something that he had asked me to come take a look at some things and see if I could do anything. And I went and watched one of the matches, and I was like, well, okay. The booking wasn't great. And I was like, well, okay. You need to do a lot of things differently. I was like, this needs to change, this needs to change, this needs to change. And he's like, well, I can't do any of that. The only thing I can really do is stay the course. And
then why ask?
Why'd you ask me? And that's the only difference between him and Vince McMahon is millions and millions of dollars, and Vince hasn't asked me anything. So, but I think that's going to do it for us, man. We're getting shorter and shorter. We're under an hour.
This is the shortest episode of the show, I'm pretty sure, by far.
It's gotta be.
I mean, when you just run down WrestleMania again, it's just...
Aside from that time, I forgot to turn the volume up on the mics, and you recorded a whole episode with no volume and then had to redo it.
Yeah, I think that one was like 36, 37 minutes.
All right, first this match happened, this person went over, it was bullshit. Then
Turned
this
into
next
a hate
match
cast,
happened. It was like Patton Oswalt trying to recap
Okay, bye. Next match was the Usos. They lost. I'm pissed. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about this? the crowd goes mild.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be releasing the new episode that you and Shelby just recorded of This Is a Rewind.
Oh, yeah. Very excited.
You want to give them a preview of what that was about?
Okay. Well, we decided it would be fun if we did Shelby's favorite match. She was talking a lot about her favorite match. And because for those of y'all that know the Shelby Death Ray Patterson from This Is a Takeover, she is very upbeat. She has constantly got a smile on her face, and I do not. And
you mean how you delight in trying to wipe it off?
Right. That's how I live my life. And since she wanted to do her favorite match, I thought it would be fun if I did my most hated match.
That sounds about right.
And then maybe next month I think we'll switch it up and we'll do my favorite match and something that makes her angry. See if I can twist her little brain.
Just a constant back and forth of feathers being ruffled. Is
that's how I live my life, man. See, I fill my heart with hate and evil, and I start my day. And by the time the day is over, I'm so tired from making people angry at me. There's nothing to do but fill it up with hate again.
Villainy is a full-time job.
It is. Boy, no rest for the wicked, huh? Huh? No, me and Shelby have a fantastic time. We've done 2 episodes of This Is a Rewind, and we have enjoyed each other's company immensely. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait for you guys to hear the next episode.
All right, and then coming up last week of the month, we're into May now, so that means Stan's top 10 picks for Long Walk Talks. His perfect 10 choices for Long Walk Talks are done. We're now into Chris's. So coming up in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about Chris's first perfect 10 film, and we'll be doing that.
If you were.
Do we get a spoiler on what's your first perfect 10?
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you were just overwhelmed by Old Boy, we have got a palate cleanser coming your way. We are going to be doing Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. And be prepared, because this will be the first time I've been officially sanctioned to talk about Mystery Science Theater for longer than 5 minutes. You're warned now.
I usually keep a ruler on hand to slap his wrist whenever he tries to bring it up. But I made the mistake at giving him carte blanche here. So
now let's clarify something real quick. These are movies that you guys think are perfect?
Well, here's the thing. He's just been.
And Stan chose Old Boy.
Yeah.
Something that you consider a perfect 10.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I've been qualifying as like to me it's perfect. To me it works on all levels. It's like it may not qualify in general. Like no movie's going to be perfect. But
right. We're not talking about like the IMDb top 100 or the AFI or something. It's our personal AFI top.
We're revealing a lot about our
I
psyches
stand
here.
on my question.
We're getting all onto another topic. I mean, it's evident of how my taste in film has grown, because when I saw Old Boy the first time, I was like, yes, perfect, brilliant.
Really? No notes.
10. And then watching it again all these years later, you could see the cracks in it.
I had several questions and concerns after I watched it.
Wow.
Now, are you talking about the 2003 Korean Old Boy or the 2013 Josh Brolin American Old Boy?
The 2003.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
it's a tough movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so that's what we got coming up. Next week, we got This Is a Rewind, and the week after that, we got Long Walk Talks.
Right on. Any chance of a teeny talk in the future?
I'll have to talk to Katie.
All right.
Well, I was going to say my summer just freed up with work, but hers is starting to speed up with another show. So
right.
We'll see how our schedules work out. Getting us in here to talk is as difficult as getting us home at the same time to talk to each other, not with microphones in front of us, just because the way our schedules are and the way we stretch ourselves so thin.
Yeah, boy, talking to the choir there.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, Doggz, if people want to reach out to you online or follow you online, where is the best place for them to do that at?
well, you can follow me at This Is a Work on TikTok. I think I have at least 50-something followers, and only half of them are spam bots. So, yeah, I'm
The other half are porn bots.
Yep, that's right. You can also get me at 2_Doggz at Instagram and Immortal2Doggz on Twitter.
Fantastic. Chris, if people want to reach out to you online or follow you, where can they do that at?
Every time you say it, I just want to go don't. But I am Chris the OK on Twitter. Message me there if you want to argue with me about anything. That's what Twitter's for.
Pretty much, yeah. Thanks a lot, Elon Musk.
And I'll argue with you too, but if you send me, otherwise I'm not getting on there.
That's fair. If you would like to follow me online, the best place to do that is on Instagram at DBHensley. If you want to keep up with Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us or search for Long Walk Productions and Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook. To see more of our original work or hear past episodes that are no longer streaming, you can follow the YouTube links in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoy this show or any of the shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on.
And for David Hensley and Chris Barnes, this is David 2Doggz Hayes saying, guys, if you got out of bed today, you had a job to go to, you have someone that cares about you when you get home. This match is over, and you just won via pinfall. Thank you for listening to This Is a Work.
May you find someone who looks at you the way Rhea did at Edge.